reasons for listening to the show, well, those are your own. But just keep in mind that the views, information, or opinions expressed on the Tuddle Daily Podcast are solely those of the individuals involved and do not necessarily represent those of our sponsors. Yeah, it's called free speech, people. Nobody's forcing you to listen.
Oh, I am a huge fucking nerd. That's right, I'm a huge fucking nerd. I like lots of books and computers, cause I am a huge fucking nerd.
One-of-a-kind shades made to order by Vaporshades.com. Vaporshades designs the outer layer of the sunglasses just like a wrap on a car. They customize your sunglasses, marbling the paint. The end result is no two pair of sunglasses are alike. Yours will be completely unique to you. Check us out at Vaporshades.com. Use promo code Tuddle for 15% off your entire order. Get ready for your daily dose of Tuddle.
The all-time greatest intern/producer we've ever had, of course, Tuddle. Tuddle in Florida.
From the Vaporshades Hobo Fish Camp, it's the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
Anarchy! Anarchy! Anarchy!
No wonder nobody likes you, Tuddle. Everything's a goddamn debate.
Welcome to another edition of the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Hope you guys are having a great day so far. Got a great show lined up for you today. I'm going to be talking to Amy Sinha coming up in the second segment. She is in Wales. She is a musician. Got a great story, has gone through a lot of stuff, but she is now a voiceover talent. And I talked to her about it, and I one of the reasons, listen, I am happy with everything that my production guy, Josh, is doing. I mean, he's knocking it out of the park. It's the only reason that the show is sounding professional right now. It's not like I have a great studio or anything. I explained to you guys time in and time out. I do my show from a 2006 beat-up PT Cruiser in a place that I like to call the Hobo Fish Camp. So, yes, but I just thought it would be cool to have a British female voice. So I want to get Josh and her in touch with each other and see what kind of stuff we can come up with. I mean, I think everybody loves that British female voice. And you're also going to want to check out this interview when it gets uploaded to my YouTube channel to be able to see what Amy Sinha looks like. But yeah, make sure you check out my YouTube channel. I've been doing a lot of streams. I don't know if you know what the new schedule is like, and me and Vulture have been talking. I took this last weekend off to get ahead on some content. So every day I can get the show done early and then do a stream later on in the day because I'm trying to get my YouTube numbers built up, people. Just getting monetized right now. It's another income stream going on. So if you get a chance, if you haven't already subscribed, go to my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tuddle. Make sure you subscribe, share it, tell your friends, family, loved ones, whatever it may be, because I want to make that thing grow. Because as much as the YouTube channel, if that gets popular, it's good, and people are going to migrate over to the podcast as well. And I really do think that they will feed off of each other. Now, we've all known those parents, the ones that are pushed their kids in a direction of something. Maybe your parents have done it, like baseball coach dad, the one that goes to all the games, pushes the son at a very young age. Maybe the kid's not into it, but the dad wants him to be because that's like the meal ticket. Got to get you into the big league, big show all the way. You are my retirement plan. And those women, those moms that put their kids in these pageants and stuff, I almost think that is a form of child abuse almost. I mean, how is that not a haven for pedophiles just to go to? I mean, pedophiles, we all like to paint with a broad brush. I know probably some people look at me and be like, ooh, man, they need to check that guy's hard drive. No, that's not it. I mean, pedophiles don't wear a uniform or anything, so how do you know that they're not going to these pageants just to, like, check out the young girls dancing on stage? I know it sounds sick that I'm even thinking about that, but it's the first thing that I think about. And how many stories have we heard where these teen actors or kids that become famous at a very young age, and most times they usually have a horrible drug problem. And it probably stems from childhood trauma. I mean, I've been learning more about childhood trauma and how it affects people, but I think this next story is actually taking it a little bit to the extreme. U.S. toddler to release debut album recorded in the womb. Are you fucking kidding me? I mean, why would these parents even do something like this? I mean, it's not for the kid. The kid's not even been squirted out of your vagina yet, and you're already, like, trying to record him. And who knows, like, what type of that equipment is? You know, we used to get cell phones all the time. All these electronics are just, like, spewing out some sort of radiation. And now you're wanting to mic up your womb just so you can record your kid? I mean, this is just preposterous, people. And the only way you're going to get me to listen to this, because I've been tweaking the settings. I'm kind of almost like a little bit of an audiophile head that I want to tweak it. I want to sound it. I want it to sound really, really good. Sometimes when I'm listening back to the podcast that I record inside my beat-up 2006 PT Cruiser, I'm still not a little happy of it because my voice is bouncing off of the front windshield. I take care of a lot of that in post-production, but what I'm really, really interested in is what if this recording comes out and if it's the best sounding quality audio that you're ever going to hear? What if the acoustics of a woman's womb like just deadens the sound a little bit? And if you guys don't know this, that's why they put up the foam and stuff in some studios. And that's why you never want to record in a studio that has hardwood floors either, because the sound's just going to be bouncing all over the place. But what if this is like a new thing? I mean, there's money to be made here, people. If the kid doesn't pan out, the album flops, what if they start building radio studios out of the tissue of women's wombs? I mean, come on. How many women out there are having hysterectomies right now that have to get it cut out? And I'm not I'll admit, I know a lot of people think I'm shock jocking right now, so I kind of am. But, like, what if we got all of the wombs that were cut out of women because of a hysterectomy, and they built the studio out of it? I don't know how long that would last. You probably have to keep the studio actually pretty cold so the womb tissue doesn't, like, rot or anything. But I think we might have to, I think we might get a new level of audio quality if we can just figure out the acoustics of a woman's womb. And if it's my kid and we're going to record this kid, I want it to sound good. And who else would you want to get than Dr. Dre himself? Getting Dr. Dre, look at all the great hip-hop artists that he has produced, plus he's a doctor. I'm sure this was recorded in a medical setting. At least I hope it would. And what kind of mics are you using? Are these mics eternally? Like, do you have to, like, stick a mic right up in there? Or do you place the microphone on the belly? These are all questions that I need answered here. But an American toddler, I don't even know how you say this name, Luca Yupanqui. Luca Yupanqui is gearing up to release her debut album, the world's first LP made from sounds inside the womb. Well, I mean, it's better than hearing these sounds right here. Man, I guess I did wake up on the wrong side of the shock jock bed today. But if you don't know what that is a vacuum. So I don't think it's that bad then really to record your toddler in the womb, because I mean it could be hearing this sound. And what if the fetus, because it's not even born yet, so you can't call it a baby. What if the fetus isn't able to say upon B? Do you threaten her with this or him with this? You know, I don't think you guys realize how much of a blow to my ego it was searching for this shock jock sound effect of a vacuum cleaner sucking things up just in the name of a joke, because I'm talking about some irresponsible parents. How's that not child abuse? Recording their fetus in a womb to release an album on. And while I'm looking, You wouldn't believe how many videos there are of vacuum cleaner sounds. Just do me a favor. Just go on there, search on YouTube, vacuum sound effects. And some of these videos have over 1 million hits on it. And I guess for some reason, people think that the sound of a vacuum is like ASMR, white noise, to be able to fall asleep to. Now, I'm busting my ass every single goddamn day, trying to be creative, give my opinions on stuff, share my personal life. And some of these people, and they're monetized. You know what? I may jump off of a building. There's not a lot of tall buildings around here, but if I really found out how much these people got paid for just recording their vacuum and looping it for like 8 hours so people can fall asleep to a goddamn vacuum sound. On second thought, I really don't feel bad about playing the vacuum sound. You want to know why? I'll tell you why. Because this kid, the fetus, I mean, it's been born now. I swear to God, will have a way more successful life than I'll ever be able to dream of. And this kid, because her parents pushed him, put a microphone in her mom's vagina to record the sounds, is going to be a bigger hit. I'm sure if I search right now, I bet the kid does have social media pages. And I would like to be able to go on and look and see, because I'm sure she's like in 6 figures. Yeah. I say suck the baby out now. Less competition. The baby's parents, her parents are Elizabeth Hart, a member of a psych rock band. Okay, see, this kid is going to grow up to be fucked up. For sure. No doubt in my mind. I wish her nothing but the best. Because, yeah, I mean, she couldn't, like, make the decision. How do you make a fetus sign a music record deal? You just don't. You ever seen how small little babies' hands are? Yeah, can't even hold a pen. What are they just going to do, like a dog print? Put her hand down like they do the footprint? Yes, that's how they'll sign. Now, the father, Ivan Diaz-Mathy, who has worked with Lee Scratch Perry and others in 5-hour-long joint meditation session. Oh, yeah, they're hippies for sure. Definitely. I bet this kid already has underarm hair by now. The recordings were then edited down with Hart and Diaz-Mathy trying to intervene as little as possible, allowing Luca's message to exist in its raw form. I'm going to break on that one. These parents wanted to get the realness. They wanted to stay out of this fetus's way so it can be inspired to do its own thing. So what you're trying to tell me is that the fetus is actually freestyling. This fetus is going to be an MC, going to blow it up for the next 40 years, and I'm going to probably be in my 70s by then, and I'm just going to pull out my rusty revolver and shoot the TV when I see her first music video. I'm just saying, people. Going to take a quick break. When I come back, my interview with Amy Sinha. You are listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast.
He's a nerd,
I've only been arrested one time.
a radio personality,
Professionally, I'm not in the best position that I've ever been in.
and hot talk satirizer.
You would think with everything that's going on, a Caucasian like myself wouldn't be able to randomly talk to an African American or a minority.
You're listening to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Wish you could have just flown and had your vehicle arrive a day or two later so you can enjoy more time doing what's important to you? Well, you can. Just give Starfire Transport a call. Let the professionals do the driving while you're flying. Starfire Transport specializes in RV and auto transport. They'll also haul watercraft from boats to PWCs, cargo trailers, and more. Service available throughout the continental United States. So don't wait. Call Brian today at 574-349-4193 or 989-751-6106 for your next move. 10% off for veterans past or present. Also, make sure to tell them Tuddle sent you for an additional discount. That's Starfire Transport. Do you have thoughts? Leave Tuddle a voicemail at 407-270-3044. even if you think he's being an asshole. Actually, especially if you think he's being an asshole. And to access all of Tuddle's social media platforms, go to Tuddle.net. That's Tuddle with 2Ds.net. Yeah, I said .net. Some assholes camped on Tuddle.com.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. This is an interview that I've actually been looking forward to. I don't prep for a lot of my interviews because I don't want to know a lot about the person going into it, because the interviews that I like to do is let them be their own living, breathing organism and see where it goes. But I actually did some show prep for my next guest, Amy Sinha. Amy, how are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for having me. I'm very excited.
Now, I consider myself a big Anglophile. Like I love everything about the British culture and stuff. And when I got married, it wasn't right away, but the honeymoon that I had, we went to England because we're big football fans, not the American one, guys. I have to explain that because I have an American audience here. But we went and saw a bunch of soccer matches. I'm sure that Amy's like, oh man, he's calling it soccer. But we went to Wales. I am the biggest Doctor Who fan, and I visited Wales. But you're from Wales, right?
I am from Wales, South Wales, Swansea.
What part? Like what city in Wales?
Swansea. So
so are you a Swansea football fan or football fan? Or are you into soccer at all?
Football fan, but I do support Swansea for outsiders. So yes, I absolutely am a Swansea football fan.
On the line with me right now is Amy Sinha. And before we get any further, Amy, tell people how they can find out and check out your content, because you're a musician. You are a voiceover person. You have faced a lot of adversity through your life. I tell people how they can learn more about you, find out about your story, listen to some of your music.
Well, you can hear everything you need to know and read all about me on my website at www.amysinha.com, and it's spelled Sinha. So kind of remember Sinha.
Sinha. So, like I've been working in radio for like probably 18 years. See, and that's the other thing I want to talk about. Why do they call you guys presenters? Because I've used that term a lot, and everybody thinks I'm crazy over here when I say presenter. But why presenter? Why don't they call you personalities or DJs?
Well, what do they call you?
Well, I mean, I've never done music radio. Well, I have done music radio when I first started, but I've mostly done FM talk radio here in the United States. And presenters, but I like it. It sounds cool. Like, I am your presenter. I mean, it's so much cooler than radio personality.
Do they say that? Radio personality? I didn't know.
Yeah, they do. Well, I mean, so here in the States, like the talk radio guys kind of look down on the ones that play music. They're like, oh, you got to play a bunch of albums or tracks and stuff. So there is like a little bit of a hierarchy, and the talk people, they don't like to call DJs because we're not disc jockeys. We're personalities.
Oh, okay. I did not know that. Yeah, I guess you can call it personality as well. But yeah, we do say radio presenter because we are presenting to you. So I guess that's why we say presenter.
Now, Wales, I've got to ask you this. Okay, as an outsider, I want to ask about, does anybody speak Welsh? Do you speak Welsh? Like, from what I've heard, it's a dead language. Like, nobody in Wales speaks Welsh.
No, they do. They do.
They do.
Days. Yeah, they do. All I can say is Prynhawn, which is good afternoon. Bore da, good morning. My Pimple Borbil and Vinhelian. That I have 5 in my family. I have more than that right now, but that was what I learned when I was a child. But everyone, loads of people speak Welsh now. Yeah.
The only reason I knew that because I was a big Gavin and Stacey fan, and that was that was in Wales, and is it Steve Bryden? I think he was part of a stand-up bit that he had because he was a great comedian, or is a great comedian. He was talking about making fun of, like, nobody speaks Welsh.
I know they were making fun of it, but actually, no, they do. I mean, my friend, she had to learn Welsh. She did a whole 2 years so that she could teach her kids because they go to a Welsh school. And now with COVID, they're home learning, and she is so thankful that she knows how to speak Welsh because she can educate them in Welsh.
Now, Amy, I'm going to get into your story here, but I'm just trying to break the ice here, get comfortable, because you do have a very interesting story, and I got to commend you, and we'll get into that, because you have faced a lot of adversity in your life to be able to still complete what and accomplish what you're doing right now is nothing short than amazing. And that's why I jumped on this interview immediately, because I think we need those type of stories right now in the world we're living in, because I mean, everybody's going through a hard time right now, and I think a lot of people could see your story as an inspiration.
Oh, well, yeah, hopefully. I think I have found it hard talking about it all this time. But
well, I mean, if you don't want to talk, I mean,
no, I do. No, I know. I think that it's a good thing for me to do. As you said, it might, hopefully inspire people to think that everything is not doom and gloom in the world, even though that, we're going through some horrible times right now, and some really,
How is the pandemic right now in the Swansea Welsh area there?
Well, in the UK, it's quite bad, but we do have the vaccine, and there's hope. So we've immunized.
Have you gotten it yet? Have you gotten it yet, or will you get it?
No, I'm not on a high risk factor for the injection, but my father has had it just now because he's
that's good.
70s. So yeah, it is getting there.
Did he have like any like side effects or anything like that from it?
He did, where he had the injection. I think it was in his left arm. His whole of the arm was quite sore for a few days. But that's the only symptoms he's had.
Now, Amy, let's talk a little bit about like growing up. I know at a young age you were into music. You did a lot of stuff, and then you had some setbacks. But you didn't let that stop you. Can you just share a little bit of some of the adversities and stuff that you've had to deal with to be able to make it where you are right now? Because there's a lot of people that have not had to, and I'm not saying like, oh, Amy's so much better than everybody else because she had to go through so many hard things and she still was able to accomplish it. But there's a lot of people that have had far less adversity than you that, they haven't accomplished a lot. And I don't want you to think, look, oh, you have an ego or anything, but like, how do you do it? Like, I mean, when you've had so many things happen, I'm just going to stop talking because I'm rambling and now I want to hear it because I am just stalling.
Okay. Okay, well, I'll say a little about what I went through then. So about 18 months old, I had cataract in my eyes, and what that is like the cloudiness of the lens. And I think a lot of older people have it when you get to like 6 past 60 or 70, so that you have to have it removed. But I had it as a child, which was very rare.
Did they know though? How at 18 months, how are they able to tell that you're having that? Like, I mean, were you like, I don't know, maybe not seeing things correctly or whatever? Like, how were you diagnosed?
Well, I think my parents saw the mist in my eyes.
Oh, yeah.
So and then when you look, and then obviously took to a doctor. Actually, my dad is a doctor, so he kind of knew that something was going on. And we were in India at the time, so we came back to Wales, and they diagnosed with cataract. So I had to have them removed. And the doctor, it was absolutely amazing because he managed to save some of my sight. Otherwise, they were fearful that I was going to go blind. But I did have 10% of my vision, which was amazing.
So you go from that, but at a very young age, you were singing. Like, was it something you wanted to do, or was it like something that your parents pushed upon you? Because you see a lot of these younger kids that grow up to be great musicians, that their parents maybe pushed them, or was it just something that you just got into?
Well, I've got 2 older sisters, and we're always a musical family. I guess my mum loved singing. So with it's my sisters actually that probably pushed me into it. My elder sister, she's about 7.5 years older than me, and she made me enter my first talent competition. So I know I was quite small back then. I had these massive glasses. Only probably up until recently, where you looked in my eyes and it was like, whoa, because they were so enhanced.
Yeah.
Because of my, I don't have any lenses, and the glasses were so thick. But I think it's something because I've always done it. So they did push me, I'm not going to lie, but because I like to do it. So I didn't have much confidence, to be truthful about it, but singing was something that I could always do, and I love to sing.
See, I'm glad that you bring that up because like I've been on See, that's the thing about it. I mean, if I'm comparing radio, like BBC, all the BBC stations, those are like nationwide, right? So here in America, like you're only on in a city, and you get syndicated, from city to city. And so the last show that I was on, it was like, yes, people are like, you're in front of like 6 figures of people every single day. And I'm like, yeah, but I have a hard time dealing with people in just personal like situations. Like being in front of the mic, I feel comfortable. And is that something that you feel comfortable? It gives you confidence when you're singing?
You think it should, like you said, but no, it never used to. I used to really freak out. And because of everything that I went through, I mean, what I've told you, obviously, but my eyesight was just a little minuscule part of what happened. Yeah, that did affect my confidence, and it also affected how I acted over the microphone. And my singing wasn't as good as it could have been because I did lack in that confidence for so many years, and I had to push myself to kind of confront that. And that's why I guess when I was like late 20s, I kind of did the interviewing. I did do the presenting.
Yeah, see,
of that.
I was gonna talk to you about that. Okay, now,
sorry, I jumped ahead. Oh my gosh.
No. It was one of the next things I was gonna get into, but I wanted to ask. I mean, you're a great musician, but I got to tell you, working in radio, and I know what these presenters or personalities make. I got to tell you, you look pretty GD comfortable in front of the microphone, as well as your voiceover stuff. What made you want to get into the voiceover stuff? Because, I mean, it's one thing to have a great voice, but then you also have to learn the inflections, how to project, doing all that stuff. Was that something natural, or was that something you had to work on?
You know what? The projection was natural. I've always had a big voice for such a small person, and that's what made me so unique, I guess, and that's why people remembered me. I mean, I wasn't very good at remembering people because I couldn't really see them properly. So but
I could picture you being the voiceover person for the Great British Bake Off. Like I think, no, I'm telling you, I mean, come on. I mean, it's one of the most popular shows over there. And could you imagine? I mean, that would be a pretty sweet gig. Like all you have to do is go into the booth, and then, like and the great thing is that you would know before everybody else, because you would have to do all the voiceover stuff. Like, the last season, Lottie was my favorite on the Great British Bake Off, and I could imagine it like, and I'm horrible at impersonation, so I'm not even going to try to do a United Kingdom or British or Welsh accent. But what I'm trying to say is like, oh, Lottie, winner of the best baker last week, is having a problem with her souffle. Will she be able to make it? Yeah, but I'm sure you could. I'm sure you could do like so much better, and that would be a great thing for you, because they got a strong female voice that they use for like BBC America and stuff. I mean, we got to get that gig for you, because that would be sweet.
Did they have a British accent, or is it American?
No. They actually have a British person doing it for the BBC America, and I'm like, oh, because when I heard your voiceover stuff, I was like, I could hear her like doing promos for Doctor Who or Down Church or any of those shows that are out there. Yeah, there's so many of them out there, and I heard your voice. I was like, yes, I could see it happen.
Oh, wow, I would love to do that. Yeah, I do like the British Bake Off, and I like Doctor Who.
Yeah. But I went to Wales. See, a lot of people don't realize is that in Wales, a lot of Doctor Who was filmed in Wales, or I mean in Cardiff. Cardiff. I
Which is the
apologize there.
capital city of Wales for people who do not know.
Oh, there is.
That is Cardiff is the capital city.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, I knew that. I'm sorry. I thought you said there was a city called Wales in Wales. I'd be like, oh, okay. But on the line with me right now is Amy Sinha. You can check out her website, amysinha.com, SINAH. And
H-A.
Amy,
SINHA.
HA. And if you can't spell Amy, I'm sure she does not want you going to her website because she doesn't need those type of people that cannot even spell Amy. So, all right. So you as a presenter, I got to ask this. Who is the most famous person that you've been able to speak with?
You know what? This is absolutely random. So, because I was a jazz singer for so long, so I had access to a lot of jazz musicians from all over the world, actually. From London, Ronnie Scott, they used to come to Swansea, perform, do the tour. And we did used to have American jazz musicians come to our little place called the Taliesin Arts Center. And I was just, I was only starting out because I was trying to get over my fear of speaking to random people because I was so scared. I was like, oh my gosh, I can't do it. So like, right, what am I going to do about it? So first of all, I got an audio mic, one of those recorders, and I went round just using the mic. And then I thought, oh no, I want my face to be seen because I'm like really vain. No, I'm not. But I did want a visual.
But we all are, though. I mean, okay, see now. I mean, we're all a little vain. I mean, we all are because I mean, mirrors are an invention. So, if somebody wasn't vain, they wouldn't have a mirror because they just really wouldn't care what they look like. So,
that is very true.
No, it is true. It is true.
That is true.
They wouldn't put mirrors in cars. I mean, that's one of the most idiotic things that you could do. Oh, I want to be distracted. Could you imagine a really vain person? Here in America, texting and driving, we do all the hands-free stuff here now because a lot of pedestrians were getting killed. Could you imagine like a very vain person always looking in the mirror and that little thing you pull down, your sun visor, and then like mowing through a crowd of people? Yeah, I could easily see that. I could easily see
that, hasn't it? That's why they've got hands-free.
Yeah, but I
mean, looking at themselves in the mirror, and I think that's why they want those electronic cars that drive themselves, because there's so many vain people out there in the world.
I don't trust that. I mean, it's gonna be like the movie Terminator, like the opening scene where that robot crushes the human skull on the beach, and I'm like, yep, we're gonna let autonomous cars, and then Skynet's gonna become aware, and we're all doomed.
Oh my God, that's amazing. Yeah.
That's
really cool. Anyway, we get sidetracked.
I know. Sorry, this is the type of interviews I do. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm not some proper.
No, I would go with you if I don't keep clear because I've got it in my head. Otherwise, I'll completely forget what I'm about.
Oh no,
I do that all the time.
I'm trying to. I was coming back around. We go off on tangents. You got to understand. Here in America, we all have ADHD, and it goes all over the place. So what I wanted to ask you, okay, so you are all over the place. You got this great voice. You're a natural performer, good-looking woman. What is the dating life for you? Like, I mean, are you with somebody right now, or like when you go to shows? Because they always used to talk about like the female lead singers here in the United States, like how the guys, they always had groupies and stuff that were like, oh yeah, I want to meet them. I could only imagine that. Like, there's got to be a stable of men just like, all right, I got to meet Amy Sinha. Oh my God, what do I got to do?
Well, this is the thing. This is why I needed to come to America, because it really was not like that here in the UK. You know what? Men get it better. I don't think it happens for the same as women lead vocalists. No,
well, like the Go-Go's. I think the Go-Go's, like that was a female band, right? Like I saw they were hardcore, like some of the other like big musicians. Like they would have their tour, like they would see a guy out in the crowd and be like, all right, so hey, come here. And they like during the intermission, you see that dude right there? Yeah. Give him a wristband. Tell him he needs to come back and meet me backstage later on. So I'm not saying you would do that, but I was just kind of interested because
Jazz isn't like that because it attracts a lot of old people or older people. So unfortunately, no, I could have only hoped.
Are you in a relationship right now? Then the only reason I ask is that
I'm not.
relationships are hard for entertainers. Like, I was married, and a lot of my relationships have gone sour because of what I do for a living. Because I share a lot of stuff on stage, and you're pulled in all types of different directions. So, I mean, it's got to be hard for a dating life, though, with as much as people know you from your voice or your music and stuff. Can you give me a little? I mean, I don't want to pry if you don't feel comfortable, but I just wanted to ask, like, what is Amy Sinha's like dating life like? Because I just figured that you could have your choice of any of the dudes.
Well, again, remember that I'm in a jazz area here, so we're talking.
And you're telling me, so you're basically saying all the dudes that listen to jazz are hideous.
They're not all hideous, but a lot of them have. No, absolutely not. No, but they do have a lot of issues. Let's put it mildly. Jazz musicians like that whole, oh, woe is me, kind of, I'd like to be depressed for my art, and it wasn't very healthy. And I'm kind of not in that area anymore. I kind of took myself away from it, and I'm much happier for it. Yeah.
Okay, so you are from your heritage is from India. Okay, now a lot of people don't realize this, that England, because they used to be a what do they call it, they used to be, like when you are the big country and you have a bunch of other countries, they used to be a part of the United Kingdom at some point, right?
India.
Yeah, India.
Well, they were run by the British. And
yes, that's what I was trying to get to.
Now,
Now, were your parents born in India, or did they immigrate to the UK?
Yeah, well, they were born in India. They only moved here. My dad, I said, he was a doctor, so he came to do his apprenticeship, so to speak, in the hospital. So in the 70s. But both my sisters were born in India, and then after they diagnosed with my eyesight, we lived here in the 80s. Then we moved properly. They moved properly here, so I was born here, and then I've grown up here. Some of
the best curry I've ever had is in the UK, and everybody told me it was like, you got to try it while you're there if you like it. But I'm not very adventurous when I get, because I'm not a big spicy tasting type food, but kind of correlating to the dating life, like how were your parents the traditional family from India, like were a little tough on you, or like how was that growing up, being in a new country and stuff? Was there some type of adjustment?
Yeah, well, as I said, I have two older sisters, and they paved the way, especially my older sister. So she got a lot of drinking, going to clubs. But by the time it got to me, my father was picking me up from a club at 1 o'clock in the morning. That's how kind of relaxed that it became, because they accepted it. And I do have to thank both my sisters.
So they
and I can buy what I want,
They kind of took one for the team there for you. Like they ran interference. So and this will be the last dating question. Like what was it like the first? Once again, your sisters probably paved the way for you on this one, but bringing a guy home to meet the family and stuff. Like,
it's funny though, because my sisters, sorry to cut you off, my sisters actually did do that. I never did that because I was really embarrassed. And this is the problem, you see. So because we're still like really loud, we're like a loud Indian, typical Indian family, and British people are not like that. I mean, you've been around British people, they're very kind of reserved, and a lot of them quite conservative.
I don't know. I went to a Manchester United match, and I got to tell you, they were not very gentlemanlike at all, if you know what I'm saying. So yeah, let's not act like. See, listen, all countries have like. Okay, see, that's the thing in America right now, is like the rich keep getting richer, the poor keep getting poorer here. And there are some people that just live a different type of lifestyle. And then you have those like people that will turn up their nose at you by just looking at you. Because I was married when I was married. See, I've lived in the South all my life. People from the North, here, I'll give you a prime example. Okay. The North talks about the South like the Brits talk about the Welsh. So, I'm sorry. No, I'm just being honest because every cab driver that I got into in London or whatever is like, yeah, we're going to Wales. And they all had like some off the wall comment to say about the Welsh.
Oh, well, you know what? Everybody knows we have it's called a Severn Bridge. And it's the bridge that goes from Wales into England and vice versa. And you know when you've left Wales into England because nobody smiles. And then as soon as you come back in, there's all smiley and you're all talkative. The Welsh like to talk and we're very friendly. Whereas the English, well, they get a reputation for not so much. But actually, no, they're very nice. You know what? Everyone's nice. You know.
And then I want to talk about what's next in your music career and what's next for Amy Sinha. But I want to get kind of just the general opinion of what the United Kingdom thinks of Americans right now. Like, seriously, like, I mean, are they looking at us like, oh my God, it's happening. The biggest country in the world, the only superpower may fail. I mean, is that how you guys look at us?
No, well, I can't say what the rest of the UK feel about it. I mean, I do. I think you've had a tough year and a lot to deal with. I think what's happening to you has happened to other countries, but only right now that you're seeing it happen to you. I think it's a bit odd that you didn't really have much security on Capitol Hill.
Exactly.
That's a lot of what's going on now, because considering that if somebody had a bomb, they could blow up the whole of the Senate. So, you know, that is kind of worrying. But now at least, you know, it's happened and things happen for a reason. And now you've seen what can happen with riots.
I mean, could you imagine if they were like Russian Parliament? Not Russian Parliament, guys. I'm talking about British Parliament. I was saying rushing the Parliament. I just wanted to clear that up. So, but like, or rushing Downing Street. That's, you know, like once again, rushing Downing Street. But no, what I'm saying is, you know, you guys don't have a lot. There's not a lot of guns over there. I mean, the Brits must look at us like, oh my God, that is the land of the free and the handgun.
Well, guns, I'm not a fan, I have to say. I don't like them. I don't think that they should be available to everyone who doesn't even know how to handle a gun. I think this is where the question marks come in. So is it, I mean, you'll have to educate me on this. Is there anybody over the age of 18 or 21 that can go private?
No. But I mean, it's pretty much when you become 18, you can go hog wild on buying as many guns. So, all right. So this is a question that I just thought of. So it doesn't bother you. So your country, well, Wales. Now, okay, this is also another confusing question. I do have ADHD. Online with me right now is Amy Sinha. Check out our website, AMYSINAH. Did I get that right? .com? H-A, sorry.
H-A, ha. I think I'm saying and then ha.
Sinha. Your head is in the way of your
sorry. I'm sorry, there you
Oh, whoa, ho. Can you move over just a little bit here? I didn't even know that was a picture. Well, like, when did you go blonde there? Like,
oh my God, you know what? This is the thing. I never do the same thing with my hair. Like on a regular basis, I change it. So 2 or 3 years ago, I did go blonde and I went short as well. I have grown my hair out now. But yeah.
This is a serious question, okay? Now, when guys are dating with women or married for quite some time, guys don't realize this, that you have to do certain things there. So what I'm trying to say is when you change the hair color, it's like the guys are always like, oh my God, I love it. But for the most part, they're acting like it's another woman. Like, I mean, is that wrong or bad?
Yeah, probably. It's like, is that you? Yes, it was me. Yeah, no, they get confused. But well, what am I supposed to do? I think I'm supposed to make myself feel happy rather than other people. I mean, if they think that I look like another person,
the blonde hair. I mean, what'd your dad and mom think of that? Like whenever you debuted it?
Yeah, they didn't like it. I'm not gonna lie. Only because it was bleaching my hair my hair was kind of breaking for so long until, I mean, I don't want to bring names into this, but Olaplex, oh my gosh, if you color your hair a lot, Olaplex I found during lockdown. I mean, I did use it in the salon when it came out a few years ago, but now I've started to use it at home. And now even bleaching my hair, it's kind of blonde in places and it is so soft. So I recommend it.
I mean, it looks soft. Definitely. And I'm sure there's some fans out there like, oh man, I would love a Amy Sinha pillow made out of her hair or whatever. Sorry, have you ever had that though? Like, have you had any like potential stalkers? I know that it might be bad, but like that's how you know that you've made it though.
I've had stalkers on Facebook. Not in real life, but I think this is the age of the internet, isn't it? So no, I have.
They're all like, oh my God, I want an Amy Sinha hair pillow. That's exactly what they're saying. Now, Amy, what's next for you? Like, like, do you right now? You obviously are not playing any live gigs around the country. How are you? Like, what are you doing right now to stay on your game when it comes to music and keeping your name out there as well too?
I'm putting my name out there, but I've kind of left the music behind slightly. I mean, I'm always be a singer.
You're going to be a big presenter. Okay.
I want to be a presenter. I want to be a big voiceover artist. I mean, I started this at the end of 2019, and with this whole online networking, it's kind of grown a lot. And
do you do your own production, or like do you only do the voiceover?
No, I do my own production, so I set up a little studio in my house, and I also record and edit the audio as well. So I'm very fully equipped.
I do my. Not a lot of people realize this is people are afraid to get in and to start podcasts and stuff because they're afraid that you need all this equipment, and you really don't. Like, I call myself like the MacGyver. I don't know if the Brits know what MacGyver is. It was a television show in the 80s here. But he could do anything.
It's on Sky now.
Yeah. So this is, if you see this mic, this is a Rode mic. It's a one-way directional mic. One of the best things that I ever, I'll get my producer to send it to you, but it plugs into the lightning port on your iPhone. And this is how the sound that I'm able to get right now off of this. It's, and then I go post-production. I add a whole bunch of stuff to it. So, I mean, that's really impressive too. That you have such a smooth voiceover voice, and then you're able to still do your own production.
I know, but I think because of COVID, a lot of people are going to have to do that. I mean, they're just so used to doing a voice and then somebody else editing it. But I think you just have to edit your own, and it doesn't take much. It just takes some software and just patience. I know. So it does, people can do it if they put the patience and the work in it, which is with everything. That is my motto.
All right. So what's the most famous advert that you've done, though?
Oh God! I only just started.
I'm just asking. Like, in your opinion, what was the big one? Oh my God! I cannot believe that I'm doing a read for Jamie Dodgers. Like, that's exactly what I'm going to be reading for, and I would think that would be a big voiceover. Like
that would be. Can I turn that question around and say what is one of the biggest voiceovers that I would love to do? I've done, and I would love to do a commercial like a Mazda or like a Lexus car.
Oh my God! No. Hey, no. I'm glad you brought that up. Okay, because there's a Lexus dealership here in the Orlando area. Now, this woman is American, but she's kind of doing a little bit of a British, United Kingdom type accent. And I'm like, I want to call them up and do like, hey, this woman that's doing your voiceover, she's a poser. She's a fraud. Let me get you a real person from the UK to be able to do your voiceover work. But like Alexis. But you want me to be honest, though? I think the American car companies would be smart to get a Brit to read. Could you imagine, like, if you did like a read for Chevy? Because Manchester United is sponsored by Chevy, a very, very American car company. I could actually see that.
I can see that as well. And what I'm seeing, I've done a lot of networking, as I said, online, and I'm meeting a lot of Americans, and the British accent. They love the British accent, but vice versa. No, don't vice versa. So do we. We love the American accent, and we're kind of trading off. Yeah.
How? Okay, give. All right, be brutally honest. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. All right. So what about my voice? I mean, break it down. Do it, because I've gone up to New York, and people in New York think that I sound slow. So how do Americans sound to you guys?
Depends on what part of America you're from.
Yeah, well, I'm as the south as you can get. So
yeah, no, your voice is lovely. Your voice is really nice. It's not. No, it really does. No, I'm not just saying that.
Well, no. You want me to be honest, and I tell people this. I don't have the stereotypical booming radio voice that most people, but I have a very unique voice that people just hear me.
People want. That is what people want. You know what? Gone are the days that they have your traditional voices. Earl, oh gosh, what's his name? Earl Jones, that one from Big Black Guy.
Oh no. Give me the. Is it a movie?
Yeah. Lion King. The guy.
James Earl. Yeah, that's Darth Vader. How do you forget James Earl Jones?
Sorry, oh my God, I know. Voice, no, but you know what? Those are your typical voices. But these days there are so many. It's like different accents. There's so many UK accents. I mean, you got you say Manchester. You got the Mancunian accent. That is big here.
Can you explain a Cockney accent? Because I always tell people like the Cockney accent is like the Southern people here in the United States.
It's a London accent. I mean, yeah, I can put a London accent. I always think of EastEnders, and if I have to go into a London accent, but it's an East End accent. I think people get confused though when they say we want a London accent. They don't really want a London accent, because you want just a nice general English accent rather than a Cockney accent.
So. Here in the United States, radio guys like to start wars with each other. Like they like to go back and forth with each other. What is the big? All right, so like I know BBC, like for a while there. Well, I know Greg James is the morning show guy.
I met him. I met Greg. James.
Oh my God, I
didn't interview him, but I did meet him.
I am so jealous. I'm so jealous. I was heartbroken when him and Ellie Goulding broke up there for a while. Because that would have been a big power couple there.
Yeah. He's married now, though.
Yeah, he is. And then Scott Mills is another one that I
met him too. Or actually, no, I haven't met him. I saw him. Basically, the reason I met all of these people is because in Swansea they did the big weekend a couple of.
Oh, who was the headliner at the big weekend?
Oh my God, was it Taylor Swift? Was it? But they had Ed Sheeran.
That's a good one.
It was in Swansea Park, and what they did was at the Grand Theatre, they had this long week, and they did loads of workshops, and I volunteered, so I got to meet a lot of the Radio 1 DJs, which was very, very cool, and get to go to the workshop. So that's how I met them.
Now, Amy, you don't have to do it right now, but like I will promote you all. I will promote you all day long. Like if I could see, because I have a production guy, and it's a guy. But like you could plug your once if you did one read for me, it'd be like 15 seconds, maybe like a phone solicitation to leave me a voicemail. And then you could be like, hey, this is Amy Sinha from check out my website, amysinha.com. If you'd like to leave Tuddle a voicemail, you can do that 407-270-304, and then you'll get promoted every single day. Like it'll get played like clockwork every single day. I'll put it in my schedule where it'll play every single day, because I would be honored, like if I had a female voice, especially a British voice, doing like my phone solicitation. So I know people
do that. Send me a script and I'll put it on MP3 for you.
Now I know you get paid like probably like you're like big type bucks. So like, I got to take this opportunity, I really do.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
No, I'll send you a script. I'll send you a script. So, all right. Well, listen, Amy Sinha, tell people once again, how can they find you?
You can go to my website at amysinha.com, Sinha, or you can find me on LinkedIn, just type Amy Sinha, or on Twitter, Amy Sinha Voice. Instagram, Amy Sinha Voice. And if you are on Clubhouse, then please look me up at Amy Sinha. Follow me there.
My friend told me about Clubhouse, and my producer is telling me that I'm going long, so I got to wrap it up. But Amy, let's do this again. Like you're a breath of fresh air.
Oh, thank you.
All right, have a wonderful have a wonderful day, Amy. And we'll talk soon.
Thank you.
From the Vapor Shades Hobo Fish Camp.
Man, maybe I would have way more sex partners in my life if I just threw caution to the wind.
It's the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Tuddle's Daily Podcast is brought to you by StitchYouUp.com. For your embroidery, screen printing, vinyl, and direct-to-garment printing needs, visit StitchYouUp.com. Stitch You Up specializes in custom caps, shirts, decals, and anything you want to personalize. Whether it's one item or large orders, they can handle any size. Unsure about what you want? Let Stitch You Up help you with your logo design. Visit StitchYouUp.com or contact them, Eric at StitchYouUp.com. Stitch You Up. Definitely not your grandma's embroidery.
All right, guys, welcome back to the Tuddle Daily Podcast. Last segment. Don't have a lot of time, but I wanted to let you know I'm doing another live stream tonight at 7 p.m. on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/Tuddle. Now, I've been getting, maybe 15, 20 live people at one time, but they stick around for the whole entire time. But I want to do, when I do these live streams, just know you can ask any question you want to in the chat room. I kind of want the live stream to kind of be like a AMA because I don't get to interact with you guys live on this show. So I've really, really been enjoying doing the live streams. You guys being able to come in there and talk with me, keeping me on my toes, not really knowing what you guys are going to talk about or whatever. I'm really, really enjoying it. So tonight at 7 p.m. on my YouTube channel, another Tuddle Daily Podcast live stream from the Hobo Fish Camp. Hope you guys enjoyed today's show, and I will talk to you tomorrow.